If you have chronic insomnia, then you are probably no stranger to that feeling of desperation to sleep, to get more sleep, and that desperation to fall asleep at night or fall back asleep when you wake up at night. There is nothing like that feeling of desperation and hopelessness at the same time. And I remember how desperate I felt when I had insomnia. And it unfortunately led me to a very dark place. A place I don't like to share, but I feel like it's important to share my story and so that you know you're not alone. So if you are at a dark place, you're not alone. And of course, seek medical help if you feel any suicidal thoughts or things like that. So this dark place led me to, first off, depression. I got diagnosed with depression. I was very depressed. I didn't want to do anything, and I just kind of laid around and just felt sorry for myself. I had suicidal thoughts, unfortunately. I figured, what's the point of living if I'm always going to be feeling this miserable, if I'm always going to be struggling with sleep? Because remember, I had it almost 30 years. I felt like I was really hopeless. This eventually led to me drinking myself to sleep every night. I would have tequila was my choice. I would have 2-3 shots of tequila to try to knock myself out. I was so desperate, I would do anything, even though I'm not a big drinker in general. In fact, I'm not even drinking at all. I'm continuing dry January into hopefully indefinitely. But I mean, at that point, I would do anything to sleep. And you might have the same type of feelings, and I totally get you, and don't feel shame or anything like that. Seek help, and you are not alone. So today's topic, this week's topic, is the most important lesson that you could ever learn when it comes to insomnia and in life in general. So that is of non-attachment. It's non-attachment to the outcome, and it comes from one of the Buddhist philosophies, and I think it comes from other places as well, but that's where I know it from. It's not being attached to the outcome. And bear with me on this topic, because at first might not like it. It might be triggering, or it might make you feel free, or it can be freeing. So the more desperate we are for sleep, the less sleep we're going to get. I know. It's hard. You can't just decide, oh, I'm not going to be desperate anymore. Like, go ahead, insomnia, take over. I know. It's hard to think about that one. It's hard to really comprehend this topic, but it is really important. So what happens when we're feeling this desperation and we're desperate to have the outcome of overcoming insomnia? Like, we want it to happen now, we want it to happen fast, we don't want to suffer anymore, and it's totally natural and totally normal. But the more desperate we feel, the more we're going to try to control the situation with pills and supplements and do this and that and take this, whatever it is, whatever it may be, whatever you're trying to do to make sleep happen. And we can't control sleep. So the more we try to control sleep, the more desperate we are, the tighter the grip that we're going to be holding on to this outcome, trying to make it happen, trying to control the situation, trying to bend it and make things happen the way we want, the less sleep we're going to get. This is all going to lead to higher hyperarousal levels, stress levels. All this control is going to lead to failure because you can't control sleep anyway. And then that failure is going to leave you even more frustrated, even more worried, and feel even more broken. Now, one thing I do want to clarify is it's not about giving up on ever sleeping again or giving up on that goal of overcoming insomnia. That's not true. It's about having faith and trusting in the process. If you're going through an insomnia recovery program, if you're going through a program that helps you to overcome insomnia and it's proven, it's about having that faith and trusting in the process and knowing that it will get there when it gets there. And we can't control when or how it's going to happen. And it's about letting go of that fear of not overcoming insomnia, the fear of being awake, all that fear, letting go of that when you are ready. That comes with time. And it's about allowing it to happen in its own time. Allow the recovery to happen when it can. It's not about controlling it or making it happen. It's about being in the present moment, doing what you can in the day, during that moment to moment, doing what you can and releasing any expectations about the outcome. Remember, we can't control when or how it's going to happen. And this is only a temporary struggle in life, and you will get through this. And letting go of that outcome can be very peaceful and very freeing. By the way, side note, make sure you click the subscribe button so you can keep receiving my videos every week about more ways to overcome insomnia, more tips and videos like this. Another thing I want to clarify is this whole process, being non-attached to the outcome, is not about just letting go and being okay that I'm not sleeping. That's the hardest part. People think that you just have to be okay that you're not sleeping. You have to be okay that you're awake at night. And it's not like that. It's about acknowledging that yes, you aren't getting the sleep that you need right now, but you can't change that. You can't change that fact in the moment. You can't decide in one night, I'm going to take a pill or a supplement and all my sleeping problems are solved. It takes time to really overcome insomnia and go after the root cause. It takes time to teach your brain that you are safe. It takes time to shift that mindset. One way to be non-attached is to be happy now. Not happy with the situation, but happy in your life. To not wait until you're sleeping better, to do things that you enjoy and do things that make you happy, or be around people that make you happy. Despite feeling exhausted and cranky, you can still have some happiness in your life now. Don't let insomnia take your life away. Have your life now, despite the insomnia. Push through and it will be worth it, and you'll have a better quality of life. If you've ever watched AGT or heard of the singer Nightbird, she was a beautiful singer and she eventually passed away, but she has a really beautiful quote that I love. And that is, you can't wait until life isn't hard anymore before you decide to be happy. That is the perfect quote to go here with what I was just talking about. Even though she was struggling with cancer and she was getting on the camera and sending these positive messages, she still would smile and she did what made her happy, even though she felt miserable. It's also really important to release the expectations about how overcoming insomnia should look and how fast it should be. This will save you a ton of stress and frustration when things don't go exactly the way you think they should. Trust in your ability to handle whatever arises. You are stronger than you think you are, and you have made it through the day on less sleep before. By the way, to understand why you have insomnia, why you are still stuck, and the root cause of insomnia, and also how to overcome insomnia, download my free 5-step guide on how to overcome insomnia. You can find the link in the description box below. Now, back to the expectations. When we have these expectations about how things should go and how fast they should go, that leads us to try to control absolutely everything to make sure we have the outcome and we recover in the way that we think we should. And this is only slowing your progress down, and even worse, making your sleep worse. It's only when you can release the outcome of, or release your expectations of how the recovery is going to look and how fast it's going to happen, that is when things are going to happen much quicker, when you're going to start to sleep more and you're going to move further along in your recovery process. Another really good quote is, "Peace begins where expectations end," by Sri Chinmoy. I don't know how to pronounce the name correctly, but that statement is really true. The more you can release those expectations, the more peace you're going to bring into your life. Now, we are humans and emotional beings. We might be able to convince ourselves to detach from the outcome intellectually, but emotionally, that's a different story. It's really important for us to have compassion for that part of ourselves. This is going to help you take a breath, open up, and release that grip on trying to control how and when you overcome insomnia. Now, we can't control when our brain is ready. Sleep will happen with time and you will overcome insomnia, but the path will never be perfect. There will be setbacks, and with each setback you can learn a lesson from it, you can grow from it, and it's actually the perfect opportunity to teach your brain that you are safe, which is a whole nother video, but that will move you closer to overcoming insomnia. The outcome, which is more sleep, will happen with time. The more you can release control of trying to make yourself sleep, control of your sleep, the more you can teach your brain that you are safe, and once your brain is ready. We can't decide when it's ready, and we can't control that. Keep giving yourself self-kindness and take this journey one step at a time. I believe in you. Now, if you really enjoyed today's video, then definitely check out this video where I talk about getting your life back with insomnia. That's going to help you release that attachment, and we already discussed it a little bit today. So check out this video where I'm going to go into even more detail, or you may enjoy the other video here. Thanks for watching today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!